alert me if I'm not recording.
Aku sorry.
Should be. Alright. Can you see? Can you see the PowerPoint?
No, doctor, I can't
No. Can't see. That means there goes screen one. Good.
Just now can see, but oh, okay.
Can see now?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to look at word meanings. And all right. So Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. A very good morning to everyone. We didn't have class last week, so I'm going to replace that towards the end later lah. Announcement. I think it's time to do a quiz next week, which is we don't have a class week 7 dah. Oh, don't have a class week 7 We have week 7 is a class. Is that right, Alia? Kita tak ada class week 7 I only have linguistic asas. So our quiz will be week 9. Tuesday, 8th of December. Tuesday, 8th of December, quiz, our first quiz. Okay, so today we're going to talk about study of word meaning. We're going to study word meaning, and it's called lexical semantics. Because words they belong in the lexicon, in the mental lexicon, And each of the entry in the lexicon is a lexical item. So the aim of lexical semantics in traditional grammar is basically to represent the meaning of each word in the language, of course, and to show how the meanings of words are interrelated. So the meaning of a word is defined in part by its relation with other words in the language. A word meaning is never alone. Even for grammatical forms, they have meaning, and they have to depend on the content words. So content words itself needs other words to get their meaning. So so for example, the sentence "I saw my mother just now." I saw my mother just now. So the word is mother, and then actually a mother is female, and then there is a blood relation between mother and you lah. So I wanna say female. relation. Okay, so the word mother here represents female and blood relation. Um, and then also the fact that these are all the senses of the word lah. I have to add again. The other one is offspring. Offspring ni anak lah. When you understand the sentence I saw my mother just now, the word mother has the lexeme mother and then has the characteristic of senses, semantic senses of being female, having blood relation, and you're the offspring of your mother. So another way of looking at it is saying that the meaning relation between words is entailment. In a way, we say I saw my mother just now. It entails that my mother is female. We have blood relation, and I'm her offspring. So in a sense, it has that entailment meaning. Different categories of words must be given different semantic descriptions because they operate in different ways. So for example, the word category of nouns, specifically proper nouns, names. Names will refer to name of a person or name of a building or institution. So this is referring. Referring. Common noun, cats, bananas, also referring. What about pronouns? Pronouns are different from names and common nouns. Pronouns, the reference of the meaning will be retrieved from the noun phrase that was mentioned before or was before this pronoun. So we can never know, we just sort of know I is first person singular, you is second person singular, we is second person plural. We just know the basic features, but the actual reference we don't know. So pronouns is a special category of words where they need to retrieve the meaning or the reference of it through something, through some antecedent noun phrase. Okay, and then logical words, connectives, for example, not, and, or, but. They get their meaning based on their function. So not is to negate something, and is to coordinate, or is also coordinate, but is also coordinate. Yeah. So as you can see, the way we give semantic description is a bit different because these words operate in different ways. So semantic links will tend to hold between members of the same group rather than across the groups. So we find that the referring meaning only happens within proper nouns and common nouns, but not the other pronoun. And then the referring to antecedent behavior will be shared by all the pronouns, but not between pronouns and cats and common nouns. Same with logical words. The fact that they actually connect two phrases or two sentences, connecting the connecting meaning is cannot be not shared by the pronoun. So semantic links of the same group rather than across groups. Words can be defined at various levels. So orthographic words means you see the word in writing. It's a writing system. So we always say that the the words are a block, a combination of sounds that are separated by spaces. yeah, separated by spaces. So if you have I want to eat, so those words are separated by spaces as you write and as you read them. And then we have another kind of definition of words. It's like it's a string of words, string of sounds. String of sounds, that means you take each individual sounds and you string them together, and it forms a word. So that is a phonological word. uh, so cat, so k, t, so those are the string of sounds in a word at the phonology level. And then they are also considered as grammatical distinct variants in the area of syntax. So for example, when you say he walks to school, he is walking to school, he walked to school. So these words are different due to the relationship of tense of reference, tense. So if this is simple present, this is apa dipanggil, progressive, and then this is past tense. So the grammatical distinct variants, and each of these are words: walks, walking, walked. And then of course words are also lexemes and word forms. And this is something that we will see later lah. So lexeme is kind of abstract. In our mental lexicon, words are lexeme first, and then they are connected to the word forms. So we have the lexeme. For example, the word cook in capital is abstract, and then you have the various word forms. So you have cook, cooks, cooked. So the word forms are units which actually occur as we see it, as we hear it, and has an orthographic shape or sound shape. Word forms realize, meaning represent or belong to a lexeme. So basically you have one lexeme, one abstract representation of the word in the lexicon, and then you would have the different word forms. So one lexeme will have different word forms, depending on the language, depending on usually the language lah. Kalau in English, you have the different word forms. In Malay, you would have word forms. You have different word forms. So let's say kalau masak, katakan contoh masak kat sini. So you would have masak, masakkan, K with a 2K as a verb. And then you have masakkan as a noun with 1K. Masaki, dimasakkan. So all the different forms of the word masak. Alright. However, there are difficulties in word meaning. Not all words are transparent in that sense. One of the things which causes the words not to be transparent in word meaning is what we call collocation. Collocation are words that co-occur together repeatedly, always co-occur together. So for example, the words like adjective strong and powerful, you can actually say strong arguments or powerful arguments. It can go along. Strong and powerful can go along with arguments. But you notice that in some it cannot. So for example, you can say this is a strong tea. Strong tea ni maknanya is very thick, very thick tea. But you cannot say a powerful tea with the meaning of thickness tadi, pekat. Teh pekat yang macam untuk orang sembelit tu kan. So you cannot have the same meaning by powerful tea. With the same meaning, cannot. And then you cannot have a strong car, but you can have a powerful car. Because why? Because katakan strong car ni, strong means in terms of car is how well they panggil how is the pickup of the car. The pickup of the car is when you are trying to overtake someone on the highway, and then your car goes very smooth and fast. So that's a powerful car. Maybe the engine is a very powerful engine from Germany or something. But there are also other cars that when you want to overtake dia macam tu kan, dia macam not very so the apa dia panggil, the it's not powerful lah. So in that sense, it's a powerful car because it can bring you faster. And about tea, it's strong tea because it is strong because strong tea because it's very thick, very concentrated. But it doesn't have the meaning of powerful. Either you have a very diluted tea or you have a strong tea. Kan? So the instances of this co-occurrence of words sometimes in itself, as you can see, will form certain meanings. Yeah? So in Malay, for example, you say permaidani, kalau dia bau permaidani hapak, kan? Then you say seluar hancing, kalau bau busuk lah. Apa lagi? Tapi sebenarnya so you cannot say permaidani, you can also say permaidani hancing kalau air kencing tu dah kena kat permaidani tu, so dia bau macam tu. You boleh kata lantai kotor. No, lantai kotor is different. What else is strong smell? Ikan hanyir. Bau-bau dia hanyir. So permaidani hapak because dia dah basah, lepas tu tak dikeringkan, tak dijemur, maka baunya hapak. Permaidani hancing sebab sudah kena air kencing. Seluar hancing. Seluar and then ikan hanyir. So this you can't say permaidani hanyir, seluar hanyir, ikan hanyir. So there is like macam after being used repeatedly, they acquire some kind of special meaning in that sense between the words. Banyak ni sebenarnya dalam bahasa kita. Sometimes when we hear non-native speakers use the language, because they will base it on vocabulary, they base it on words in the dictionary. So sometimes the words are not suitable for certain situation, although the meaning is the same. And then we have fixed expressions. Fixed expressions like hot and cold running water. It's always said that way. Never said cold and hot running water. We always say salt and vinegar, not the other way around. We always say fish and chips. We never say chips and fish. It's always fish and chips. So these are fixed expressions. What happened is that they start with collocation, and then they undergo fossilization process. Fossilization means because it's being used together like quite regularly all the time, then the meaning becomes quite concretized. So we call it fossilization process until they become fixed expression. Misalnya kita kata Melayu suami isteri, kita kata isteri suami kan, suami isteri, ibu bapa, kita tak kata bapa ibu, apa lagi? Boleh fikirlah yang lain tu kan. So fixed expressions. And then we have idioms. Idioms are proverbs, sayings, where individual words have ceased to have independent meanings. So for example, speak and span. Basically it means tidy. It doesn't mean combination between the meaning of speak and then the connective and span. It just means tidy. Anak emas, anak kesayangan. Bukan maksud bermakna daripada makna anak atau makna emas. So idioms have formed a collective meaning, a collective meaning, a specialized meaning in that sense. Okay. Banyak ni in our language. Why are we looking at this? Because we are saying that some words we can actually talk about meanings of the words, but some words, because of their special use of it, has become fossilized, and then it becomes a chunk of word which we don't analyze part by part. So kalau kita if we look at like an example, for example, idiomatic expression, all these words, we don't analyze. We analyze it as one big chunk, one big word, not individual words. Okay, so another kind is called contextual effects. Sometimes it gets meaning from the context. So I go for a run every morning. So our worldview will say that this is actually referring to an activity of running. And because this is done every day, it becomes a run. So I go for a run every morning. Yeah. Or I go for a jog every morning. And then the ball player hit a home run. This is like the game cricket or rounders of American football. Home run. Home run means someone brings the ball and brings it right to the and like produce a goal, like run past the home base. So home run is a win. Once the person hit the home base, he scores a point. So home run. It has a different meaning. He built a new run for his chicken. So we notice that this one has a different meaning. We sort of know, our world knowledge says that a chicken barn or rumah ayam kan, rumah reban ayam, reban ayam is usually in the old days when you rear chicken, you always have the reban ayam on stilts, on stilts, so that you try to avoid snakes ke apa kan. So it's higher above ground level. So in order for the chicken to go down when they are in the daytime, you want to go and roam around the area, then there will be like a small bridge, like a jembatan for the chicken to go down from the chicken coop. So that's called a run. So sometimes in semantics we say whether run in the first sentence, is it the same as run in the second sentence, and is it the same as run in the third sentence. And as we can see, they are like homophone. Homophone means same sound. They can also be homograph, same spelling. So they seem to be like homophones, but the contention is whether it is the same word or not. So I think in linguistic one, we say that it depends on the meaning. If it's related to one another, then it can be one word. In this instance, we have to decide whether these three words are having related meanings. If you think about it, I think it has. a home run is running, it involves running. A new run involves running also. So I can conclude that in these examples, a run is one word with one meaning. Okay. Although it does change a bit in the we have the primary meaning, and then we have the secondary meaning. Primary meaning is the main meaning, and then secondary meaning is some extra additional information that the word has. So so in that sense, primarily it's the same word, but it has additional meaning once it's put into a certain kind of usage or certain sentence. Okay, and then when we talk about semantics, word semantics, we talk about lexical ambiguity. So lexical ambiguity means a certain word has more than one meaning, yeah? And it causes when it has more than one meaning, it leads to ambiguity where we don't know which meaning is being conveyed. We don't know. So, for example, he discovered a mole. The ambiguity is a mole. So a mole could be some black dot on your skin, kan? Panggil apa? Cat lalat. It could be a mole, that mole. But it could also be a spy, uh, 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 um, a spy within the organization. So that means they have uh, they have they have turn against their own. So let's say katakan in the uh, movies about spies, an American, let's say, American spy who now does work for Russians, but he's in the American base or unit lah, but he actually is a double. So he's a mole. He's a person who actually give away the secrets to the enemy. He saw her duck. This is also, duck is also ambiguous between an animal and between the verb. He saw her duck. That means he saw her going down, hiding from him. I went to the bank. This is very famous, either to the river bank or to the financial institution. So one word actually can cause ambiguity. All right. Okay, now we come to relations, semantic relations. So after having said that some words have opaque meaning means it has a collective meaning. You can't go into the parts of the word to get the meaning. So now we're talking about semantic relation. So one of the this is a hyponymy, and hyponymy is a relation where a word X is a hyponymy of a word Y if the set that is the reference of X is always included in the set that is the reference of Y. When some set X is included in a set Y, we also say that X is a subset of Y. So dogs and poodles. So dog is a hyponym of poodle. Poodle is a hyponym of dog. Okay, so dog is a hyponym of mammal. Mammal is a hyponym of vertebrate. So imagine, like, if you were to draw a hierarchy, so the top hierarchy is a vertebrate. And then below that is a mammal. So then we say the mammal is a hyponym of the vertebrate. So the hyponym is always at the position at the subordinate bottom. The hyponym is always the position at the top. For example, dogs and poodles. Dog is a hyponym of poodle, yes. Because dog is the higher, the superordinate, and then poodle is a hyponym. Dog is a hyponym of poodle. Poodle is a hyponym of dog. So because besides from poodle, you can have all kinds of dogs, Alsatian, whatever, alongside. So the types of dogs. Okay. A synonym, as we know, two words are synonym if they have exactly the same reference. If they have the same meaning. Okay. Antonym is being opposite, or sometimes called better complementary pairs. So complementary antonyms, two words X and Y are complementary antonyms if there is nothing in the world that is a part of both X's reference and Y's reference. So antonym is married or unmarried. So you cannot be either one, or no overlapping. They are separate. You cannot overlap. You cannot be married and unmarried, or alive and dead, or you cannot win or lose. But we don't know. In America right now, people are getting confused between winning and losing. So a person who is losing saying he's winning. So we don't know. Is he winning or is he losing? So it depends on the worldview of that person. But the majority of people think that he lost, and then he himself, only him and his supporters think that he wins, but actually he lost the election. Okay, gradable antonyms. So sometimes antonyms can be on a continuum. So while something can be one or the other but not both, it's to say not X does not imply and therefore Y. So for example, water is hot, cold. Water, hot, cold, or neither. But when water is not hot, it does not imply that it is cold. It maybe is warm, lukewarm, cool, or chilly, or anywhere else in between. So these are called gradable. Gradable antonyms tend to be relative in nature. It has a relative value. They do not represent an absolute value. So in a continuum, they can move. Katakan absolute means 10. 10 is absolute. But gradable antonyms are not like that. And then you can have words like old, which also has relative value, not absolute, can. So you can say an old dog. An old dog will have a certain number of years. And then you try to compare that to an old man who has a certain number of years, but the old man has, let's say he's 92 years old. So 92 years of being alive, so he's old, kan? So for a dog, I don't know, maybe how many years of a lifetime for a dog is so much shorter than an old man, old person. And then you have the large blue whale. The large blue whale is very large, the largest whale kind. And then you have large mouth. So meaning that the word large is quite relative. The large mouth, the large in large mouth is not the same as large in blue whale. So it's a continuum, gradable. Or other gradables like wet and dry, easy and hard, old and young, love and hate. Love and hate, like you have love-hate relationship. So it doesn't mean that you either love or you hate, but there's also in between love-hate. Love-hate means at times you love, but at times you quarrel, you hate. Okay. Converses. Converses have to do with two opposing points of view or a change in perspective. For one member of the pair to have reference, the other must as well. So as we look at it from the example, lend, borrow is a process of transaction. So someone lends something and then the other person borrows it. Someone sends something, the other person receives it. You have someone who hires and someone who is being hired. Make correction. Okay. Oh, okay. So that is the, now we go to sentence meaning. In sentence meaning, one aspect that we discuss is argument structure. So we say argument structure. A verb's argument structure, only verbs have argument structure. Normally verbs have argument structure. Actually, preposition have argument structure. Not many, but yeah. A verb's argument structure defines the number and relationships of participants needed for a complete event. So the number of noun phrase, the number of arguments and relationships of participants needed for a certain event. So we have a one argument verb, which is actually intransitive, which requires only a subject to make a complete sentence. So saya mandi, adik berlari. So this is a one argument verb. So mandi is a one argument verb, berlari is a one argument verb. And this is called an external argument because it's outside the verb. We call it external argument. Then we have two argument verbs. And these are transitive verbs because they take on a direct object. So ibu membasuh baju. This is a two argument verb. One is the internal argument, which is the object, and then the other is the external argument, which is the doer. Okay. And then you have a three argument verb, which like three argument verb normally take direct and indirect object. That means there's two object in the as internal argument. So we have buku, first internal argument, and then you have di atas meja as second internal argument, and then you have the external argument. So there's one, buku, di atas meja second, and third is ayah. So three argument verbs. Three argument verbs means you cannot say ayah meletakkan buku. You must say meletakkan buku di atas meja. Okay. So three argument verbs. So studies have shown that people with aphasia, which is an after traumatic brain injury or having a stroke, the language part of their brain gets impaired. So studies on aphasia individuals have shown that retrieval of the argument structure from the word itself is reported, has been reported that there are faster responses to two argument verbs compared to three argument verbs. Because it gets more complex kan kalau two argument versus three argument. But it also has been argued that context is required to activate syntactic processing. This too is supported by faster responses to verbs related to nouns relative to unrelated verbs. So whenever two argument verbs compared to three argument verbs, okay, what is this? Faster responses whenever two compared to three argument verbs had to be integrated into sentences, and by faster responses to words following verbs is one compared to three participant rules. So basically, I'll repair the sentence. But basically, it's saying that the processing of comprehension of sentences goes by how many arguments that the verb has. So 2 argument is faster than 3 argument, and 1 argument is faster than 2 argument. Yeah, and then it also has to be related to the verbs lah. Meaning the nouns have to be related to the verbs rather than not related. So for example, you say adik kejar anjing. If you have adik kejar almari, then people with aphasia will have difficulty processing that because it's not the normal meaning. Kejar, dia tak kejar almari lah. So okay. Why? Because actually words, the argument structure, they have thematic roles. So the thematic roles are the semantic relationship between the verbs and the noun phrase of sentences. So for example, Ali meletakkan buku itu di atas meja tadi. Or ibu menggunting kain dengan gunting. The number 1 is the agent. So Ali and ibu is the agent. The theme is number 2, buku itu, kain. And number 3 is the location, di atas meja, or the instrument. The instrument relation. So when we listen to a sentence or when we read the sentence, the way we understand the sentence is by knowing that Ali is the doer, buku is the theme or the patient receiving the action of putting, and then this is the location. Okay. And then the same with this. Of course, with this, it gets ambiguous. Ibu menggunting kain dengan gunting. Because you can say ibu menggunting kain dengan gunting, one with having the instrument meaning, and then the one without the instrument meaning. So without the instrument meaning is saying ibu menggunting kain dengan gunting. Ibu menggunting kain dengan gunting. Ibu menggunting kain dengan gunting. So I guess I could, maybe it's a bit too mouthful if I use gunting. If I just say ibu melipat. Ibu melipat kain dengan gunting. So also ambiguous. Can be melipat kain dan gunting atau melipat kain yang ada gambar gunting. Okay, so it depends on how we read the semantic relation for the noun phrase. So we saw last time that noun phrases only are having semantic argument. So these are the arguments that we can have for a noun phrase. So agent, theme, location, goal. Goal is the place to which an action is directed. So put the cat on the porch. So imagining put the cat on the porch. So you are actually carrying the cat and you're putting the cat on the porch. So on the porch is goal. Then you have source. He flew from Chicago to LA. So that is the source is Chicago, and then you have LA as the goal. Instrument, by means an action is performed. With scissors is instrument. Experiencer, usually for verbs which are perceptive, like heard, saw, feel, taste. We have experiencer. So she heard Bob play the piano. So she is an experiencer. She experienced the sound, the sound coming from the piano. I saw the man yesterday. So I is the experiencer. Then you have the causative. The causative is a natural force that causes a change, like the wind. The wind destroyed the house. Causative. You can have the possessor. The tail of the cat got caught. So of the cat is the possessor. Recipient, one who receives something. I gave it to the girl. So the girl is Recipient can also be goal, can also be recipient. Okay. So take a minute or two to look at this and give me the thematic roles for each of the noun phrase. Bolded. Okay. Who wants to do number one? Any volunteers?
Hello.
Yeah,
Okay, Doktor, saya Aisyah Ahmadin.
Aisyah. Okay.
Can I try?
Silakan. Yes.
Okay. So, basically, the first sentence is abang letak dalam ni.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, I think that abang is agent.
Okay.
Okay. And me, I'm confused whether it is location or goal.
We have to determine what is ni. What do you think ni is?
Maybe it's an object that we can put things inside.
If you were to say this to a boy in your clinic, abang letak dalam ni, what do you mean?
Ni tu like bekas yang kita letak barang.
Bekas kan?
Yeah.
Abang letak dalam bekas ni atau dalam kotak ni kan?
Yeah.
So then we have to figure out ni tu apa? Kotak ni tu apa?
Maybe dia punya determinant.
Kan? Determinant. So in that
yes.
sense then sekarang kita ambil yang kotak ni. Bukan ni saja, kotak ni let's say. Because itu maksudnya. Jadi yang ini kita panggil apa? Dia punya, what is the thematic role do you think?
Goal.
Goal. Boleh goal?
But can it be location also? Ke
Can
tak
be
make sense?
location also, yes.
Yeah.
Jadi ada dua lah. Goal ataupun location. Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
Number
Doctor.
2? Yeah, thanks Aisyah. Siapa nak buat number 2?
Hi, Doctor.
Hi.
I'm Siti Aisyah.
Siti Aisyah.
Okay, so abang tak suka makan buah. Abang is the agent. Buah is the I guess it's an instrument or
You faham tak maksud dia?
abang is the agent. So buah is an object.
Buah is the
of
object kan?
Yeah.
So in semantics, we call buah what? In syntax, we say buah is an object. In semantics, the thematic rule?
The thematic rule is goal. Wait, no. It's the
It's the object to the verb. So?
Object to the verb, meaning it's
It's the theme.
It's the
Theme,
okay.
Theme. It's the theme because it undergoes the process of eating. Dia yang kena dimakan tu. Melalui proses makan. Okay, ya? Faham Ada soalan? Alright, nombor 3.
Doktor nak tanya. Okay, so contoh kan abang tak suka makan buah kan? So basically tak suka makan tu memang tak ada semantic role ke? I mean like
semantic role or thematic role is only for noun phrases or preposition. Maknanya all arguments could be noun phrase. Actually some arguments are prepositional phrase, macam put the apple on the table. On the table is an argument kan? So on the table is an argument. So it gets thematic role, semantic role, thematic role. So put put the apple on the table, apple is the object, so apple is the theme, and then on the table is a location, or it could be a goal. Could be a goal. Yeah?
Oh, okay. Faham. Alright.
Ketiga, apa nak buat?
Okay, Doktor.
Thanks. Number 3.
Doktor,
Hai, siapa?
Ayu.
Ayu. Ayu ni nama apa? Full? What's your full name?
Ayu Nadira.
Ayu Nadira. Nak buat nombor 3 ni. Okay.
I think for ibu is agent.
Alright.
Plastic is instrument. Plastic
Okay,
instrument.
can be instrument, yes.
And lepas tu ibu is agent. And tempat pembakar is location.
So plastik tadi is what you kata alat
Yes.
Alat, lepas tu ibu is agent, lepas tu tempat pembakar is
Location.
location. Alright. Plastik tu je lah.
Plastik
Apa lagi yang
tu
boleh
je
boleh di aside from instrument, apa lagi yang boleh kita berikan dia punya thematic role kat situ?
Kalau team boleh ke doktor?
Maksud dia apa? Ibu masak dengan plastik warna apa ni?
Tapi dia dengan, so dia still instrument.
Instrument, tapi ada juga whereby macam menggunakan instrument lah, menggunakan plastik. Plastik is like a bekas lah. Besin ke plastik container tu kan. Can it be an object? Ada tak sesiapa yang rasa dia mungkin objek? Dia macam
Tapi doktor dia guna perkataan dengan doktor.
that's a bit itulah ya, dia pakai dengan. Ibu masak guna plastik warna apa ni?
Doctor, if it's an object, is object under thematic roles?
Yeah. No, dia panggil theme.
Okay. Theme. Yeah.
So kalau kita kata ibu masak guna plastik. Ibu masak guna plastik. So like masak is a verb, guna is a verb, and then plastic gets to be an object. This is where kita boleh kata dia juga merupakan tema lah. Theme is a theme.
But doctor, for it to be a theme, it needs to undergo changes. So kalau dalam ayat tu, if the child says ibu masak nasi, then the nasi is a theme. But the plastic is not the theme because it's not undergoing changes.
Ini definisi dari mana yang kena ada undergo changes? Tak perasan, tak terfikirlah that it has to go changes lah. But it's one way of looking at it, yeah. I'm just saying if you have a VV, masak guna, then plastic becomes an object of the verb. Then it is a theme. Tapi kalau you kata masak dengan plastik, then definitely dengan tu signaling alat lah. Okay. Tak apa kalau you boleh justify objek tu boleh terima jugalah ya. Okay, number 4. Abang long saya dah tinggi dah. Siapa nak buat? Yasmin Yasmin ada?
Tak ada doktor, tu
Tak ada.
senior.
Dia senior?
Year 4 now.
Oh, okay. Siapa lagi? Umur lah. Buat nombor 4.
Okay doktor. Yang saya tu is kejap. For me, saya is agent, but Abang Long is the recipient. The recipient of the idea or the comment.
Recipient.
Sebab the saya is talking, but the Abang Long is the recipient of the comment. Because Abang
Apa
Long
maksud
saya
ayat
dah
ni?
tinggi.
Abang long saya dah tinggi. So yang the predicate is? Predicate dia tinggi kan? Dah tinggi dah lah. That's the predicate. So to who?
Oh, I read it in another way, or it could be like saya is telling
Comma macam
Abang Long, yeah.
Abang long, comma.
Yeah, I was
Saya dah
thinking the
tinggi
other
dah.
way, yeah.
Ah.
I guess from which view lah tengok, but if Abang Long, comma, saya dah tinggi dah, then saya would still be agent.
I think what it
predicate.
means like abang long saya tu is saya punya abang long. Jadi selalu orang panggil akan cakap
Initially I
long saya
thought
dah.
that too. Like I was thinking like macam like I'm saying that my brother is tall, like is already getting taller, like that.
No, actually your meaning, what you're saying is kalau ada hyphen kat situ Abang long, saya dah tinggi dah. So actually Abang long is you are calling to your brother. And then saya dah tinggi dah. So actually now predicate tinggi tu refer to saya. Okay. Tapi kalau kita go back to the original, abang long saya dah tinggi dah. Actually yang tinggi ialah abang long saya.
Yeah, sorry doctor, I was thinking of that one, yang the second one that you mentioned. The abang long
saya.
is the tinggi. Yeah, I didn't think of it with the comma tu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how
the,
is that is two separate? Macam mana you kata say again? What's the meaning there?
What I mean is that Abang Long is the object of the topic that we are talking about. Or the receiver. What I'm trying to say is the receiver of the comment. Because we are talking about the abang. And I am talking about my abang. Something like that.
So saya tu fungsi dia kat apa kat situ?
Initially I thought of it as an agent. And Abang Long is the experiencer.
I think a bit complicated. I think what Siti Aisyah was trying to say, saya, Abang Long is one, and then saya is saying Abang Long saya. So saya shows possession.
Yeah.
So
That's
Abang Long
true.
is Abang Long saya lah. Dah tinggi dah.
Yeah.
So Abang Long is the in a sense macam experiencer juga sebenarnya.
Yeah.
Tinggi tu dia yang melalui. Dan
Mm-mm.
saya is indicating possession to Abang Long. Tu Abang Long saya. Okay. Dekat Padang, nombor 5. Siapa nak buat?
Sorry, Doctor. Can I just ask the semantic role for saya would be?
Possessive. Possession. Possessive, yes.
Oh, okay. So amongst the words yang macam agent, cause, instrument, experiencer and all that, which one would it be under?
It will be possession. Different
Possession.
from the rest.
Oh, okay.
Dia
Thank you.
macam kereta saya.
Mm.
Kereta saya. Kereta milik saya. Kereta saya tu menunjukkan hak milik.
Okay.
Possession.
Alright, thank
Okay,
you.
dekat Padang.
Sekejap doktor. Nak tanya. Kalau Abang Long tu, can we say dia sebagai team? Atau team hanya untuk objek je?
Objek ni bila ada perbuatan atau aktiviti dan dia terkena aktiviti itu atau melalui aktiviti itu. Kan? So actually this sentence kalau dalam bahasa Inggeris dia panggil apa dia panggil ni? There is one word I can't remember. My brother is tall. So ayatnya my brother is tall. Or my brother is tall enough, let's say. So copular, this is a copular. It's adjective verb predicate. Tapi the linking verb, let's call it. Linking verb. Linking verb means the reference for the verb, the is linking adjective and the noun phrase subject. So tall is referring to the same person lah. Dia selalu kalau verb, let's say you have basuh. Saya basuh baju. So baju is a object and also a theme because it undergoes the activity of washing, basuh. And actually there's an agent. Jadi sebenarnya there is an object and there is a subject agent. So usually in object thematic role of the theme, this is the template lah. You have subject, verb, object. But in this kind of sentences like my brother is tall enough, it's of the same person. Kalau macam tadi different person, different thing. My brother is tall enough, linking verb, it links back to the same. So dalam bahasa Melayu pun walaupun dia tak ada dia abang saya tinggi. Sebenarnya ada orang kata abang saya adalah tinggi. Abang saya adalah seorang yang tinggi. So adalah satu linking jugalah. But dia. Okay. Alright. So dekat Padang senang je kan ni. Ini preposition kan? So this is a location. A noun phrase. Noun phrase location. Alright. Okay. Then we go to subcategorization. Subcategorization defines the restriction on which syntactic categories or parts of speech can or cannot occur within a lexical item. This additional specification of words are included in our mental lexicon. Basically, what this means is, you remember when we were doing syntax and we did subcategorization, right? Subcat, ingat tak subcat last sem? Yes. So this is subcategorization.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes. So it defines the restriction on which certain categories can or cannot occur within a lexical item. So verbs are the most common categories that are subcategorized. Verbs can either be transitive or intransitive. So So transitive verbs take a direct object, intransitive verbs take an indirect object. Usually they need a preposition before the noun. So basically, transitive, to eat, ate an apple. To eat an apple, ate an apple, direct object. Intransitive, to sleep, was sleeping in the bed, direct object. Individual nouns can also be subcategorized. So basically, subcategorized is just the syntactic frame of the word lah. What it requires. So maybe I should syntactic there. So basically, it's the syntactic frame of a word. The neighboring word that can occur with a particular. For example, if you have run, can you just say the subcategorization is a V, and then it has nothing. A V je. So this is a subcat. But you can have a adverbial kan, katakan lari di padang. So you could have a optional adverbial phrase. And then you have subcat into eat, let's say. Verb. And then it will have noun phrase, and this is the verb, it occurs there, and then you have a noun phrase. So this is a subcat. Of course, when we draw it, how to say, hierarchically, kita akan nampak the brackets lah, apa-apa kan. But in simple terms, this is what it means. What can occur with the verb. So the verb is here, the middle part, and then what can occur with it is a noun phrase, and it's another noun phrase. But for intransitive, you only have the verb, and optionally you can have an adverbial phrase or preposition phrase. So ni subcategorization. And then dia kata individualized nouns can also be subcategorized. What can occur with nouns? Idea can be followed by preposition phrase, or that, and a sentence. But the noun compassion can only be followed by a preposition phrase and not a sentence. So kenapa PowerPoint saya tak ada kat bawah ni? Tak ada. So I need to go up, and then it will start from the beginning. Okay. So the idea of stricter laws. So idea can be preceded by the determiner and followed by a preposition phrase of stricter laws. It can also be followed by a sentence that stricter laws are necessary. So the idea that stricter laws are necessary. So then the subcat for idea will follow that lah. Kalau I don't stick to presentation mode, is that okay with you? Ami nampak kan? Saya kata kan kalau this one, I would say you have the okay in our we can use NP back Kalau dulu kita panggil DP kan. PNP. So this is the idea is that what we are saying, the idea of stricter law. So the idea. So this is idea. Then we say okay, that can happen before idea, and then you can have prepositional, which is of stricter laws, but you could also have the S. That S. And then I use a curly bracket, this one, to say it can go either one of this. Okay, lepas tu nak buat lagi satu. Here. So this curly bracket means that the word idea and a PP, or that the word idea and that as. This is what it's a subcat lah dia panggil ni kan. Compassion for animals. You notice that it cannot follow like idea. Compassion. His compassion for the animals. Okay, that means you can have compassion, determiner, compassion for the animals is a PP. Okay, no problem. Same as the idea of stricter laws. But it cannot follow that as. So you cannot say that his compassion that the animals are hurt. It's ungrammatical. So that means idea and compassion has different subcat. Okay. So consider this sentence. A beggar knocked. What can happen there? A beggar knocked on my door. Can?
Yes.
So prepositional. Certain preposition. Cannot be knocked through my door. Tak boleh. But most likely a preposition lah. Cannot be a verb. Cannot be a noun. I knocked the vase, the table, and broke it. So what could happen here? On the table.
Near.
On. At. Near. Under. So all preposition. These are subcat lah. Subcat, that means subcat determines certain words can happen. He always knocks something at 6 o'clock. He always knocks.
His head.
His head at 6 o'clock. The door. Noun phrase. Saya memikirkan masalah itu.
Sedang, belum,
Sedang.
tengah.
All the aspect words. Sedang, akan, telah. And then you have baju itu terlalu panjang. Ungrammatical. Either you take panjang and do a subcat on panjang, or you take a baju. Tapi baju just baju itu sebenarnya. It's panjang lah. Maknanya panjang, kalau you ambil subcat tu panjang, dia akan specify what kind of noun phrase. So kalau panjang, ekonya terlalu panjang. Certain words lah can happen here. Apa lagi?
Lengan baju.
Lengan baju terlalu panjang.
Rambut
terlalu panjang.
Seluar
terlalu panjang. Okay. Masalah itu terlalu luas untuk dikupas.
terlalu besar.
Terlalu besar untuk dikupas. So dari segi dia punya subject kat sini. Alright, so subcat tu maksudnya menunjukkan apa yang boleh hadir dengannya, syntactically. And then another kind of sentence semantics is reversibility of verbs. So reversibility of verbs is the ability of the noun phrases in the sentence to be used interchangeably in a certain word order due to the animacy of the NPs. So both are animate NPs. So Sarah chased Alice, Alice chased Sarah. So both of the NPs can be the agent and the recipient, agent and the recipient. So Alice can be the recipient here, but the agent here. So is Sarah can be the agent here and the recipient there. Then we have the irreversibility of verbs. Is the inability of the noun phrases to be used in a certain order due to animacy of the NPs. So irreversible, you cannot do what we did just now. For example, Sarah drank the milk. So Sarah can only be the agent and the milk as the theme. You cannot have milk drank Sarah. Milk cannot be the agent. So then it also is specified also by the subcat. But what do I have here? Oh, okay. So reversibility is a problem for adults with aphasia because if let's say if you have Sarah is chased by Alice, you have a sentence. Sarah is chased by Alice. The aphasia gets confused with this. They think Sarah is the agent. Which is wrong lah. Sarah is not the agent in this sentence. Because even though Sarah is the first noun phrase in the sentence, but it is a passive sentence. So Sarah is chased by Alice. Who's the doer? Alice. Who's being chased? Sarah. So even though Sarah is at the beginning of the sentence, it's actually the patient. But people with aphasia will find this difficulty lah. They will tend to think this is the agent. However, it was found that for irreversible, in the experiment, the adults with aphasia understood Sarah drank the milk and understood that milk cannot drink Sarah. It's not understood that it's not a reversible verb. Okay, so reversible verbs provides a therapist or teacher with a tool for teaching word order and thematic role assignment in patients with aphasia. It's a unique resource that increases the child's or adult's knowledge of verbs and how changing the word order alters the meaning of the sentence. So for example, donkey pushing man and man pushing donkey, boy pushing tree and tree pushing boy. Yeah, so there are things that you can do in your that will go with your acquired disorders course, I think. So reversible verbs contain sensible and humorous photocopiable pictures and written tasks for use with the child or adult. It is a tried and tested method of working on sentence level comprehension and construction. So this could be a therapy activity by itself lah. Okay. I wanted to, let's see. As you know, there is also ambiguity kan. Meaning I think we've done this quite often. It means you can have I saw the man with the camera. This is ambiguous. So it can be I saw the man using a camera. So let's say this is what number 1, let's say. So this is 1A. 1B could be who is holding a camera.
Mana dia?
So you can actually draw a tree lah, showing the relationship by tree diagram lah. So as you can see, I saw the man. The man is a constituent by itself using a camera. So using a camera is modifying so. So you say here, using a camera, PP modify verb. I saw a man who's holding a camera. PP modify noun phrase. The man. Huh? This is an ambiguous sentence. I think we've mentioned this a lot of time. We draw trees even, so I think you understand. Okay. Put it here. Okay, now the reading that I asked you, that I said, let's see whether they have. We take 5 minutes, 10 minutes break. 10 minutes break. Come back around 10:51.
Doctor,
Yeah.
later can we have 10 minutes break?
Why?
Why?
Not now.
Just yeah, later.
Oh, later. Kenapa?
I mean after this part, can we have like 10 minutes break just to like comprehend everything?
Oh, I actually wanted to see the
Yeah.
exercise in the book,
Okay.
and then we can do the exercise in the book actually.
All right.
So we take 10 minutes break. Go rest lah. I have a drink or something.
Okay.
Okay, bye.